And then um, we look at align. So this section this section serves as a checkpoint to better align the resources you have more effectively. So the resources, when you list out, when you define it, this helps you to really align it to how to when you go through this. So the resource that you finally agree on, you ask yourself these critical questions: what resources already exist that you can tap into and will be helpful in achieving a relationship with your desired contact? So it just helps you to ask yourself very critical questions, just so you know that when you come up with, let's say, affection and admiration as a universal currency, and you come to align, it helps you to realize that, okay, maybe this might not be relevant to the person that I want to build a network to. I don't know if it makes sense. Yes. Then ideas for action. So it even gives you ideas for action. As I said, uh, you might want to take them to parties and invite them to meetings, surveys. Um, phone calls. So it just gives you a lot of gifts. It just gives you a lot of ideas that you can explore. In addition to the 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 act of generosity that you're going to do, yardstick. So the ranking. Um, there are certain people you wouldn't want to invite them to dinner because maybe your level of intimacy isn't. Yes, exactly. They will not even appreciate it. Hey, why is this guy? Yes. uh So then you look at your outreach plan. This is quite detailed. So the person you want to go out with, you put their names in there, the priority, and then the month when you're looking at putting when you're looking at. So let's say with Nicholas, or I plan to have something, an engagement with Nicholas in May his year, and in May I think I have the capacity to do William. I'll add it there. July or June I want to relax. So this really fits to the outreach strategy, and it's time bound. The outreach strategy is basically a time bound thing. So um, then final dossier, an example. So um, this is what it looks like. So basically, what you're going to do is really profile the person. So if I had followed my example of the arts guy, something like this, then I probably would have just a Google search, because after that incident, I just did a Google search about him to know his dad is a high profile person, and I realized that he had been arrested and it caused a problem to his dad. So if I had done that Google search, I would have known that sending him a fraudulent, funny article about art, he wouldn't appreciate it. Yes. So this helps you to profile the network that you've built. It looks a bit creepy, but I mean, if you really value the relationship, you would want to invest into getting to know the person and doing this. So this is basically the relationship action plan, and this is a framework for that. Um, Now, I one of the things that we want to realize is that, I mean, what all these things is to position ourselves as a center of influence, the one who knows, in a sense, the movers and shakers of of a society or of a community. I mean, if you want to be um, a master or a market leader within your industry, within your business, you have to be a mover and a shaker. And one of the ways that you want to, I mean, one of the ways that you have an upper hand over your competitors is your network. Is how strong your network is. If I can be here and command people to to do things and make it, no command in that sense, but reach out to people and leverage their contact elsewhere to make things happen, that is a powerful thing rather than me moving and sweating and doing a whole lot of things. So what this really helps us is to help position ourselves as at the center of influence, to become movers and shakers, and people will respond to that, and soon become what, in a sense, you project, what you want to be. So if you want to be a market leader and you're moving things, ultimately when people start to need things, they'll come to you. When you put yourself out there, that, or when people get to know that this person, when I come to him, is able to provide me, not even, maybe not himself, but he definitely knows someone who would make it happen for me. Just this morning, it's very interesting. We are having this meeting. Just this morning, someone called me and was like, I posted something on my status and they saw it, and then they were thinking about starting a business idea or something. And then it hit them that, oh, I could actually help them make whatever business idea they were, in a sense, thinking about happen. And this is because over time, they've seen that I have positioned myself in such a way that, or when they reach out to me, I'm able to help them. Even if I'm not able to do it myself, I definitely know someone who would, in a sense, make that happen for them. So it's very important. I mean, all that we are trying to say, all that we are trying to do or achieve with this is that we want to we want to be people of influence. We want to be people of or we want to be considered the magnet. When we say the magnet of an industry, yes, this is what we mean. Someone who has all the contacts in other places, the leverage, all the leverage to make things happen. And you can only achieve that through networking. So it's important. I mean, there is an African proverb which says that if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go further, you go with people. And I find that very true. There are moments where I want to go fast, so I cut off everyone. But you realize that your strength will deplete at the end. And so you want to build you want to rather team and building a very formidable network that will help you grow. So there are quite a number of things that I want us to look at, but I think time is fast spent. And so at this point, I want to end here. But before I do, there's a few book. I did mention that there are a few book references I would want to make, or a few book recommendations, which are actually very, very good. So one is the Super Connector. It's a great book by Scott, and the forward is by Keith Ferrazzi. He's actually the propounder of the relationship action plan. So Keith is actually the propounder of the relationship action plan, and the next book is actually by him. Never Eat Alone. It's a fantastic book, which I would recommend you read. Another book is Your Network is Your Net Worth. Interesting book. This talks more about wealth creation and all that. It says unlock the hidden power of your connection for wealth, success, and happiness in this digital age. It's a very exciting book, and it's by Guy Kiyosaki. Guy Kawasaki rather, not Robert Kiyosaki, Guy Kawasaki. This is he during Steve Jobs' time, he used to be considered as the evangelist for Apple. So it's a very amazing guy, and Richard Branson also gave some comments on this book. It's actually a good read. Then finally, the ultimate book, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People. A great book by Dale Carnegie. It's a very 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 amazing book. I mean, I practiced the first time I read this book a long time ago, and the first time I read this book, I practiced one of the. I think I had read it, so or that particular play, and then I was like, I need to. I did on my way, or when I got there, I just decided, why don't I practice what I've learned from this book? And trust me, till date, anytime I go to that Kelewele woman, I'm always smiling because she doubles my Kelewele. It's a principle. I'm not going to tell you the principle. You're going to read it. It's a principle I picked from this book, and so it's a great book. I mean, all the greats you can think of have. Warren Buffett has spoken about this book. Great people. Actually, this is one of the books that he claims changed his life. So it's a read that I want you to. And as you know, this training is sponsored by LifeScope, and so you can get all your books from LifeScope. I mean, they have all this book in store. And for those of you who are here and maybe listening live, you can use my name for a discount. Yes, but yeah, they'll give you a discount. Ventured, if you are in the venture, they'll give you a discount. Yeah, so these are some of the books that you would want to read and gain a bit more insight when it comes to networking. Networking is very very important. If there's one key takeaway that I want you to have, is the fact that networking is very very important. And the earlier thing I gave, at the moment it might sound theoretical, but I try as much as possible to make it very practical. But you'll be amazed the impact or the success your business would generate if you are able to apply, or you are very intentional about networking. There are so many things, so many hurdles, so many challenges you would surmount that I mean, money can't even. I mean, so many opportunities you access that money can't even provide you. So, if there's anything I would want to leave us with is network. Learn to network and be very intentional about networking. Whatever resources that if you wanted that reach the coordinator for this Paul, he would send it to you. If the frameworks and all that, he will send it to you. And so I would so on this note, I'll welcome any questions, and then we can close. I didn't introduce myself. I didn't introduce myself from the beginning because we had to rush the start of this. Thank you once again for your patience. We had a bit of technical issues. A lot of people wanted to join us today online, and so we had to just make sure that worked. And thank you for coming in person. I mean, it's always exciting when you are here in person. So as I said, I didn't introduce myself. My name hasn't changed. It still remains Napo. And I've been your facilitator for this training. All right. So I'll welcome any questions at this point. Awesome.